Hey kids, it's Mist and Fly here. Well, this is something very different for the channel. Now I don't very often do cars here on the Mist and Fly because of course it is a motorcycle channel. But every now and then I get the opportunity to drive something that's a little bit special, a little bit quirky, a little bit odd. And this very much falls into that category. As you will have seen from the thumbnail, today I'm driving the little Microlino. Right, welcome back to the channel folks, and welcome to a very sunny Bury St Edmunds, where I've just borrowed from my friends at Krazy Horse Customs this brilliant little electric car. I've literally just jumped in it. This is the first time I've driven it, so this is all new to me. I've got the aircon fully on, and by which I mean I've got the roof fully open. Let me just shut that, and hopefully you'll be able to hear me a little bit better. Right, before I get into how the car drives, it's very important for you to see this car because it's something very special. So let me show you around it now. Right, tell me this isn't one of the cutest cars you've seen this year. It's an absolute winner, this. Check this out. Here it is, the Microlino, homage to a bubble car, more than a passing resemblance to the old BMW Isetta. It looks absolutely fantastic. It's unlike the Isetta, of course, it's got four wheels. The rear wheels look like they're a little bit narrower track than the front wheels. It's a beautifully made thing. Proper solid aluminium body with a steel frame underneath it as well for proper crash protection. This is a safe bit of kit. It's designed in Italy, hence the Italian flag, but is actually a Swiss manufacturer, I believe. These are the combined headlights and mirrors, which I think is a lovely looking feature. Apparently the lights are really, really good on here, projector lights. And of course you've got the manually adjusted mirror at the back there. Coming around the front here, we've got one windscreen wiper. This being the premium model has got, I think, all this lights up on here as well. But yeah, what an amazing thing. So I know what you're thinking, how do you get into it? Well, there's a secret switch just here, you press that. And then up the front goes. There we go. And that's how you jump in. Again, unlike Isettas of the past, the steering wheel stays fixed on the steering column there on the floor. Doesn't go up with the door like it used to in old-fashioned bubble cars. Getting in and out is a bit of an art. I'm going to try and put the camera down and I'll demonstrate to you how I was told by the salesman you should do this. It's a little bit windy, so I'm hoping the camera will stay put. Already broken one camera doing this. There we go. Right, now apparently what you're supposed to do is step up into the car like that, turn around like that, sit down, and then slide across into the driving position thus. Very easy. I'm not a particularly big fella, and I have to say I find getting in there absolutely fine. I don't have to do all that rigmarole. I can just actually get out the car. So no actual issues getting in and out. I love the way that the door opens itself as well. It's like a soft close mechanism. If I just sort of, it's on a strut, so that's what does the heavy lifting. But if you just sort of close it like that, there you go, it sort of sucks itself inward there like that. Let me show you the boot on here because it's quite gargantuan. Now to open the boot, you have to press and hold the boot button on the key fob thing. So hang on, let me just do that now. I think you're going to be surprised by this. Really light little boot lid. And there we go, look at the size of that. Absolutely massive. That's my sort of bag of camera stuff, and you've got absolutely acres of space in there. And I happen to know from talking to Steph at Krazy Horse, she's actually been in the back of one of these, so you could fit another human in there if you wanted to, but not recommended, of course. Just joking. But it just shows there is plenty of space in there. Lovely fit and finish in there as well. Everything about this just feels quality. Beautiful. Just everything fits nicely. It's lovely. There's the charging port, and that just goes into a 3-pin normal plug, 4 hours charge up. You can buy a separate lead so you can use charging stations around and about, but if you keep it based at home, you wouldn't need to, would you? Let me just show you inside some of these bits. Let's open her up again. That never gets old, does it? And what we've got here is optional phone holder for your nav and your music, that sort of thing. You've got a little cubby hole here. I've got some water in there, and that's the optional Bluetooth speaker that you can specify as well if you want some tunes while you're driving. Check out the seats on here and these lovely little stitched head rests. This is the premium version of the car, by the way. You don't necessarily get all this in all of them. Lovely stitched steering wheel as well. Check that out. And then you've got your brake and accelerator pedal down there, of course, where you'd expect them. Absolute winner. And a full open sunroof. No aircon in this little beast. All right, so there is no doubt then that this car is as cute as a button. It looks absolutely fantastic. Overtones of the old Isetta from BMW, but very much a premium piece of kit. It is really lovely in here. I've just noticed actually the sun is probably blinding you from behind me. I can't apologise for it being a nice day. As I say, I've literally just jumped into it, so it's all very new to me. But instantly, it just feels easy to drive. Here I'm doing 43 miles an hour, and it feels very comfortable at this speed. It'll do a lot more than that. I think it tops out at 56. But of course, this car isn't aimed at roads like this. Here I am in the Suffolk countryside. This really is a city car. Shut some more windows. Now, I'm not a massive fan of electric vehicles per se, certainly not motorcycles, but I do see where electric cars have their place. If you live in a town and you've got limited space for parking or whatever, then this Microlino would be absolutely perfect for you. This has been designed such that you can park it sideways into the curb. So it takes up very, very little room when you park it. Charging up wise, you charge it on a standard 3-pin plug. It takes 4 hours to charge if you go for the biggest battery option. This one I'm driving does have the biggest battery. We'll go through the specs a little bit later. But even with the big battery, it's still only a 4-hour charge. You can buy the lead that allows you to plug it into charging stations around the country, but it still takes 4 hours to charge, so you might as well just charge it up at home. Absolutely cracking day out here today. All right, so let's talk about what you get inside the car here then. Well, it's quite basic in terms of its controls, but then it's an electric car, so you don't have things like gear sticks and stuff. You don't have an engine to manage. You literally just have a go pedal and a stop pedal. In front of me here, I've got a really nice little TFT screen. Speed very clear, charge level very clear. I've got 96%, I'm glad to say. So with a range of over 100 miles, I'm not going to get any range anxiety on this first drive. Let's just bring her down to the speed limit. Brakes are pretty good actually. I'm not sure if this has regen or not. It feels like it probably does, because the brakes aren't exactly super sharp. But they slow you down perfectly adequately. It is, after all, a very light vehicle. Other things here in the cockpit, you've got basic controls down the front here. You may be able to see it on that camera, I'm not sure. We've got a fan for cooling. We've got a heater, which we won't be needing today because it's a lovely warm day. We've got a screen demister and a rear screen demister as well. So all the essentials. What I really like about this car, unlike other small city cars that you may have seen like this, cars like I think it's the Citroen Ami, for example, those look a bit flim-flam, a bit flimsy, made of plastic, that sort of thing. This car is built like a car. It's got a proper steel frame and an aluminium structure around it, so it feels solid all around you. And inside here, even though it's very, very small, it's actually spacious inside, but it doesn't feel like a flimsy vehicle. The way it drives is very solid. It feels well made, which is just as well it should, at the price that it comes in at. But looking at the price alone of this would be a mistake, because this isn't for the price conscious consumer. This car is for somebody that, number one, wants a city runabout, but also values style and cuteness and finesse and just the good things in life, because this is a luxury vehicle, there's no doubt about it. All right, before I talk more about the car, let's just talk you through the spec. Right, I feel I owe it to you just to talk spec for a little bit, just to give you some of the numbers here. I've written them down because there's no way to remember this stuff. So battery, 3 options, 5.5 kilowatt hour, 10.5 kilowatt hour, or a 15 kilowatt hour. The big battery gives a range of up to 142 miles. That's what this one's got. And the small battery keeps the weight down and technically makes it a quadricycle as far as regulations are concerned. But then with the tiny battery, the range is down to 40 miles. Top speed, 56 miles an hour, although I happen to know it goes a little bit faster than that. Right, I'm on a straight bit of road now. I've had my foot flat down. Look, we're going to go downhill. I had briefly an indicated 58, there we are, 58 miles an hour. That seems to be what it tops out at. So when you're having max fun, you're still not going to trouble the speed limits. Boot capacity, as you saw, surprisingly large, 230 litres that is. That puts, you know, full-size cars to shame in some cases, doesn't it? My kids, I don't know if I mentioned, they've got a Fiat 500. It's got a way smaller boot than this has got. Very usable. Power, the motor puts out 12.5 kilowatts. That's the equivalent of about 17 brake horsepower. So this ain't going to be winning any races, but that's not what it's about. Weight of the vehicle is around about 600 kilograms. Now, it depends, obviously, that's with the larger battery. It depends, obviously, which battery you've got as to how much it weighs. I've seen figures between 530 kilograms and 613 kilograms. So it's light, whatever way you look at it for a car. Price, and this is the tricky bit, the most basic model starts at around just over 17 grand. But once you spec it up and you go to the top end of the range like this one, you're looking at just over 24 grand. So that is quite a lot of money for this type of car. If you look at some other even small electric cars like the new Renault 5, for example, which is a full-size electric car, that starts at 23 grand. So that's interesting. Or indeed, if you're going to buy a normal internal combustion engine car, then there are options available for that sort of price. So there's no doubt this is expensive, but it's very much aimed at the luxury end of the market. And yeah, this isn't the sort of car that you're going to buy if you're on a budget. So yeah, I think that's all you need to know about spec. I think it's basically a great little fun car, and apparently it's quite popular also with motorhomers, because they can obviously stick it on a little trailer on the back and take it to the campsite. So if you're a well-heeled motorhomer, think about getting a Microlino. So welcome back aboard the Microlino. It's a really nice place to be. Great visibility out of this screen. I am missing a central mirror somewhat. Got these little mirrors on the side, which are adequate. You can see fine out of them. You just adjust those manually with your hand outside the window. It's easy enough to do that. But I keep looking up here for a mirror and there isn't one. So I wouldn't mind one of those. Right, let's give it the beans here and see what the acceleration's like. Right, my foot's flat on the floor. And I wouldn't say the acceleration is going to frighten anyone too much. We're not talking Tesla levels of speed here, but it's adequate. I mean, it feels like any other small car. So don't get this thinking it's going to be an electric car with oodles of torque and it's going to frighten your passengers. That ain't going to be the case. Coming around these little bends here, there's a little bit of body roll. Not too bad though, it feels quite stable. And the suspension is nice and compliant actually, it's soaking up these bumps a treat. Our roads are well known for how awful they are, but the ride on it is really quite plush. Love this little steering wheel. Just comfortable to the hand, nice and small and sporty. No power steering of course, but you don't need it on a car that weighs under 700 kilograms. As you can probably see, I've got a grin on my face, and that has got to be the most important thing about a vehicle of this sort, isn't it? If you're going to buy a fun car, then you want it to put a grin on your face, and this absolutely does. I can imagine when you're in town with this and there's lots of people about, you're going to get a lot of looks. You don't want to be a shrinking violet in one of these. I imagine it would get a lot of admiring glances from passers-by, because it's still pretty rare on the road. Krazy Horse here in Bury St Edmunds is the main dealer of these. Maybe, in fact, the only dealer. I know they are expanding the dealer network. They've got their own branches, of course, across mostly the south of the country. I think they've got 5 branches, but they're also looking at adding more dealers to the far north of the country as well. So there will be more dealers coming along. And it's just a brilliant, fun thing. It's got a doozy little windscreen wiper. I think it's just got the one. I'm sure that does the job fine. Or if it has got 2, I can't see the other one. Mirrors work surprisingly well. You've got plenty of storage bins around. Comfort-wise, it's a nice place to be. The seat's quite firm, but nice and comfy. You can adjust this whole bench forward and back, and of course it's built for 2 adults. I think you'd have to get on quite well with your passengers in here. Now, I don't know if this microphone is picking up the noise that this car makes. I have a feeling that they've had to introduce a motor noise into it, just so people outside can hear you coming. It reminds me a bit of being on a Chiltern Line train. So just driving it slowly here in this little bit of traffic, it's kind of work knocking off time. It's very easy to just drive constantly at a slow speed. There's no jerkiness or anything like that. So Microlino is actually a Swiss company, and the Swiss are known for building watches, aren't they? And this has the fit and finish of a Swiss watch. I've got a vague feeling I read somewhere that they're actually designed in Italy, and the design inspiration very much is from that BMW Isetta, the old bubble cars that used to be on the road just after the war. We want to go down that road, bother. Drive of the car, very simple. There's a little selector knob down here. It's just got neutral, drive and reverse position. There's no park. You put it in neutral for that. And there's a conventional handbrake on my left here. So very, very simple. You get in, take the handbrake off, select drive, hit the accelerator, and you're on the road. They do make versions of the Microlino with lesser power output and restricted speed-wise. You can actually drive on a motorcycle CBT. So you don't need any sort of car license if you go for one of those. I think that's called the Microlino Lite. Check out their website for all the details. But really, it's a nice ride in here. It's a little bit unfortunate I'm out here in the wilds of Suffolk driving it, because this, as I say, is not what this car is designed for. It's designed, of course, as a city car. But even out here, I tell you, if you want a day out in it, it's brilliant. What a great little thing, I'm loving it. So there we are, not much else to say about it really. That's the Microlino. It is expensive, comes in various trim levels. They start at something like, well, just over 16 grand, I think, or 17 grand. And then you're into the, up to sort of 24, 25 grand if you fully spec them out like this one is. So an expensive thing, but a lovely thing. All right, that's it for this time. Hope you enjoyed that. Look forward to speaking to you again soon. Until then, this has been Listen and Fly. Cheerio.